Beautiful, bouncy, vivacious locks. You know, the ones that look like you just stepped off the set of a Pantene commercial? Except you, A, have absolutely no idea how to achieve the look, even though you've curated a Pinterest board of swoon-worthy hair inspiration and how-tos. Or B, put in a ridiculous amount of effort only to have your gorgeous curls fall out, leaving you with stick-straight hair in just a few hours. Does this sound like you, love? One of my favourite ways to inject a bit of sass into a so-so outfit or pep myself up on a day that I'm feeling, well, a little bit flat, is to make over my hair with some big bouncy voluminous curls that last until my next shampoo. Yep, that's right, gorgeous salon-worthy hair that lasts until my next shampoo, which is 3 to 4 days. I know, you're probably thinking, ew Shelley, that's so gross, but you'll learn quickly that dry shampoo is your new bestie. The secret? Curling your hair with a flat iron. Here's my secret formula on how to do it the right way. Step 1, preparation. For the best results, start with clean, fresh hair. I've just shampooed my hair twice and conditioned with my trusty Kerastase, which is my favourite shampoo and conditioner. And as you can see, I now look like a thoroughly drowned rat, so now it's onto the products you'll need. Number 1 is a detangling spray, which is optional, and for those gals that have particularly tangly hair. 2 is a tangle teaser or a wet brush to prevent your hair from snagging. 3 is a root booster and also an optional product for those gals who like a little extra oomph at the roots. 4 is most important of all, a heat protectant. And 5 is the secret to the longevity of your curls, a style extender. Now onto the tools you'll need. First, a blow dryer with a concentration nozzle. Then a flat iron or a hair straightener with a rounded barrel. And lastly, 2 clips to section your hair away. I love a crocodile clip and a little squeezy clip. Let's begin by spritzing a little detangler through the lengths of the hair, avoiding the scalp area. Then take your wet brush or tangle teaser and gently brush that product through the lengths of your hair. Next, for a bit of extra ba-ba-boom at the roots, apply a volumizing spray or mousse. I like this one from Kevin Murphy called Body Mass. The next product is an absolute must. It's a heat protectant. I like this one from Kevin Murphy, which is called Young Again. It's an infused treatment oil which helps keep the frizz down on my hair. Now it's time for your secret weapon, your style extender. I love this one from Living Proof. It's called Prime and it's weightless, it's weatherproofing, and it saves time on your blow dry, which is awesome. Speaking of blow dry, that's step 2, dry time. For a reduced frizz and sleeker finish to your blow dry, use a dryer with a concentration nozzle. That's the piece that directs the air blown from the dryer into a more direct area. I like to begin my blow dryer using my fingers to rake through my hair. This is going to help get out the excess moisture before I then move on to my paddle brush and use that to get a much sleeker finish. While we speed through this process, I have just a couple of quick tips for you. Always use a blow dryer pointing from root to tip. This will stop the cuticle from being ruffled up and adding extra frizz to your hair, which nobody wants. Next, always keep your blow dryer moving, otherwise you could risk frying your hair. Once my hair is about 95% dry, I like to switch back to use my fingers as a comb. This will help with added volume and also ensure that there is no moisture left in my hair, which you do not want before you use a hair straightener. And now you can have some fun like your fiance with her beautiful flowing hair. Or maybe not. Brush out any tangles from your Beyonce moves and then you're ready to move on to step 3, which is style time. To keep things super simple, we're going to section our hair away. So the first section is just going to be from the tips of both ears, and I'm going to take the hair from the top of my head and just twist that into a little top knot and secure it with a crocodile clip, but you could secure it with any kind of clip that works best for you. I'm then going to take that remaining piece that I've left down and split it into 2 sections and brush out any knots or tangles using my paddle brush. Now I'm going to take a 1-inch piece of hair from the back of one of those sections. To keep things nice and sweet and simple, we're going to work from back to front to create this style, and we're just going to clip away that excess piece of hair to create this cool little hairstyle, which I'm sure you want to recreate. Now grab your hair straightener with your rounded barrel. As I said, a rounded barrel will give those nice big curls as opposed to a flat barrel which will put kinks in your hair that just don't look cute. I'm then going to twist my flat iron or straightener away from my face and turn it 360 degrees until the tail of that piece of hair is poking back out away from your face. Then gently pull your straightener down. If you get a little stuck, you can wiggle it from side to side. Otherwise, don't put too much pressure on it until you get to the very end. Grab that piece of hair. It can be a little hot, so just be careful. And then I like to twirl the hair to gently shape the curl and then toss it over my shoulder when I'm done. So it's super simple. 3 steps of twist, twirl, and toss. And now you can move on to the next piece. So again, take another approximate 1-inch section and then just smooth it out before you put your straightener or flat iron over the top. And again, you're going to twist that flat iron 360 degrees away from your face. Just make sure that you poke that tail underneath the hair that's attached to your head. Otherwise it can get a little tangled up. So go underneath and you can grab it from behind your ear, just like this. Then gently pull that straightener down the length of your hair. If you get a little stuck, you can wiggle it along, and I like to grab the end to give me a little more traction. Just be careful if you do this because it can be a little hot. Gently twirl that piece of hair around your finger to create the curl you want, and then toss it over your shoulder, and you're ready to jump on to the next piece. So it's just that simple: twist, twirl, and toss. This style is super easy to achieve, and I promise you, you can do it. It just takes a little bit of practice. Despite all the faces I seem to be pulling, it does not hurt me, or it's not so tricky, but it does take a tiny bit of practice to get it right, and you'll find by the time you've done your full head of hair, you're on track. Here is what we've done with the first side complete, and now we'll jump over to the next side. So it's exactly the same technique, just brush through those ends and clip away the excess, always starting from the back and work your way to the front. And then just twist that flat iron away from your face, grab the tail from underneath your ear and gently pull that flat iron down the length of your hair. Twirl that curl and toss it over your shoulder. Again, here's a little close-up of the left side, and I'm going to twist that straightener away from my face and pull that tail from underneath my ear until it's pointing away from my face, and then I'm going to gently pull that straightener down the length of my hair. Once I get to the end, I'm going to catch that piece of hair, twirl it around my finger, and toss it over my shoulder. And we're done with our first section. As you can see, it's all bouncy and voluminous. Looks a little tight right now, but we'll come to that at the end. So it's now time to take your next section down, and I like to take it from about halfway up my forehead. Now, if you have thinner or finer hair, you might find that you can take larger sections. I generally have to do about 4 or 5 sections with my hair because it's quite thick. Again, just brush through everything before you begin straightening because you don't want any tangles or knots. And then you'll just continue with those pieces starting from the back that are approximately 1 inch each. Now, if you see any steam coming off my hair or looks like smoke, it's not smoke, it's just the product that's burning off my hair, which is why you need a heat protectant. especially when you're working with a flat iron, because these little gadgets are pretty darn hot. And I know with mine, which is a GHD, you cannot control the actual heat. So I would recommend, if you do have a straightener that you can control the heat, just dial it back a bit. It doesn't need to be on the highest heat unless you have particularly coarse, really curly hair that you're trying to smooth out. Now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here and show you the back section, or the top of the back section, which makes you need to be a little bit of a contortionist to get there, so excuse the weird poses here, but it's exactly the same process. So you want to smooth that hair out and then twist the straightener away from your face, gently pull it down the lengths of your hair, twirl that piece of hair around your finger gently, and then just toss it away. We're almost done. So I just have 2 more sections to go. I like to take a side which could possibly be my part. I like to part on the side of my head, and then take that little like mohawky section and clip that away. And then I generally only have like 2 or 3 pieces on each side of this particular section, because I did that little back piece on its own, and I just leave those front pieces out. I don't clip them away because I find they don't seem to really get in the way. But if they do for you, just again clip them up so that they're not getting in the way of you twisting that flat iron or straightener around. Just another quick tip or a little warning about those pieces of hair that are around the hairline of your face. They can be a little more delicate than the rest of the hair on your head, so move that straightener quite quickly through those sections. They will curl nicely like the rest of your hair, but they just don't need as much heat because they are a little more delicate. Otherwise, if you take too much time, you'll end up with loads of frizzies that you just can't get rid of. And yay, we've made it to our final section of hair. So again, taking pieces from the back, and I just like to twist that front section out of the way. But again, as I said before, if it's easier for you to clip that out of the way, and then just twist that flat iron away from your face and grab those curls. Now, as you can see, I've had to go back because I had a piece that fell out. I often make mistakes with this, and it's, there's no perfect way of doing this. And I think that's the beauty of the style, is that each time you do it, it is going to look a little different. Just make sure that you don't go over the same piece of hair twice if it didn't work out for you. Leave that piece of hair to cool, do the rest of the section, and then come back and recurl that piece. And we're done with the curling. Now, this may look a little too Shirley Temple-esque for you, which it totally is for me. So I like to shake my curls out. You can actually take a paddle brush to your hair and lightly brush over your hair, or you can just finger toss it and break those curls apart using your fingers. Now, if you have fine hair or hair that's hard to curl, to hold a curl, I would not recommend brushing your curls out. In fact, I'd recommend letting your curls completely cool before then tossing them or finger combing them. Just never use a brush on them. And especially if you are heading out to an event, I would totally leave them, whether you have thick hair or fine hair, to cool before you play with them at all. This will help ensure the longevity of your curls. Once you're happy with how your curls look, you can then apply a hairspray if you'd like. Just make sure that you apply it from underneath rather than over the top, so hold sections up and spray under. Otherwise, your curls could be weighted down, and especially if your hair doesn't hold a curl well, you don't want to add that extra weight to the top of the curl. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Pop on over to FromShellyWithLove.com for more post-styling tips to ensure the longevity of your curls for the next 3 to 4 days. I have an article right on the front page. If you liked this tutorial, please leave a thumbs up on YouTube, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Do you dream of a stress-free, deliciously relaxing morning routine that makes you want to bounce out of bed? If yes, then join me for Mirror Mirror, a free 5-day class where we'll talk about style and beauty, nourishment, movement, and mindfulness. It's all about sparkling both inside and out when you look in the mirror. I'll leave a link in the description bar below as to where you can pick up your free morning makeover routine ebook. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.